Hi, I'm Randolph Miller, and welcome to Bounce Around Charleston. We have a wonderful show set for you today. Well, my first guest, Brent Swaney, he's going to tell us all about the Charleston Jazz Festival. Brent, welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Thank you for having me, Reverend Miller. It's great to be here.
Oh, okay. Now tell us about this wonderful event and what we can expect.
Well, this is the 2022 Charleston Jazz Festival, and we're very excited to be able to bring it back this year. It's a 4-day festival that runs through April 21st through the 24th, Thursday through Sunday. And it's going to feature some of the best jazz musicians from the Low Country, as well as international musicians from Cuba and Armenia, Trinidad. We've also got a wonderful group coming down from New York City, and there's going to be in several different venues around the area.
Now, is this the first time you've done this?
It isn't. This is the 7th year. It actually began in 2015, and we had to take a pause for last year. And so we're very happy to resume it in person this year. And the first night will kick off at the Forte Jazz Lounge, which is a wonderful jazz establishment on King Street. And that's going to feature 4 of our best and brightest bands from the area.
So now, is it more than one night, or what can we expect?
The festival lasts over 4 nights, and the first night's going to feature the 4 bands, like I mentioned, starting at 5:30 p.m. And ticket prices range from $20 to $40. You can also buy a combination of 2 or 3 or 4 of the shows and receive a discount when you purchase shows that way. Each show will run 1 hour. And then on Friday and Saturday night, we'll be bringing our international headliners to the Charleston Music Hall. And there will be 2 shows per day, one at 5 and one at 8 o'clock. Then on Sunday, it's a really exciting day. It's our Family Jazz Day. And that's going to be at the Royal Missionary Baptist Church in North Charleston. And that's going to feature 5 of the local area school, high school, and college jazz bands, including Charleston School of the Arts and the Wando High School Jazz Band, the Charleston Southern University Jazz Band, and the College of Charleston Jazz Band, as well as the Charleston Jazz Academy combos. And those tickets are free for all students and kids and $5 for adults. And you can get all of our Jazz Festival tickets by going to charlestonjazz.com.
Okay, so what motivated you all to do this for 7 years?
Well, we understand that there's a quite a wonderful lineage of jazz in the Low Country. You know, as you mentioned, Quentin Baxter before we began. He's obviously one of the heroes of the jazz scene, as well as Charlton Singleton. It also goes back to the Jenkins Orphanage days. We had Freddie Green, who was a famous guitar player for the Count Basie Orchestra, Cat Anderson, who was a wonderful trumpet player with the Duke Ellington Orchestra. So we felt that we really needed to bring that spirit of jazz and unity that jazz embodies to the Low Country and keep it going and keep it thriving. And it's wonderful feel-good entertainment.
If you had to define the word jazz, how would you define it?
How would I define the word jazz? I would say that great jazz is a conversation. It's a musical conversation between the musicians on the stage. They may be playing their instruments, their saxophones or trumpets, or even singing or scatting with their voice, but they're talking, they're having a conversation on the stage. One musician may say something, then the other may say something back. And then you know, sometimes you feel like a great conversation, it's gonna go one direction. Well, then sometimes with jazz music, the conversation goes a different direction. Then it may turn left and then left again. Then it gets back on track. And by the end of it, you've been on a wonderful journey.
Wow. So when the public comes to this event, what do you want them to walk away with?
We'd love them to walk away with that jazz is a worldwide shared experience. We're going to have talent from Cuba. We're going to have a wonderful vocalist from Armenia. Etienne Charles, who was performing on Saturday night with Quentin Baxter. He's from Trinidad. And so we've got, we want everyone to come away with understanding that jazz is it's a world language. Everybody speaks this language. On the Sunday, we're going to be featuring a lot of the local school groups, like I mentioned. And so we want everyone to understand that jazz is in good hands. We're passing the baton, and we're keeping the traditions going.
And who's invited to this wonderful event?
Everybody's invited to this event. Everybody with the shot of our voice and the sound of our voices can come to the festival. It's going to be next Thursday through Sunday, April 21st through 24th. All the information is on our website as far as how to buy tickets and a description of all the groups. And it's at charlestonjazz.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. And it's going to be a wonderful festival. It's going to be full of wonderful, positive vibes, and you're gonna walk away feeling energized and ready to groove.
Well, I know with a lot of events, there's also a protocol for the public to come in. Is there one for this event?
As far as a protocol with regards to mandates and such?
Yes.
Actually, there isn't right now. There isn't any. There aren't at our venues. There aren't any COVID protocols in place. If you would like to wear a mask to feel comfortable, by all means do. But there isn't any vaccine requirements at the time for these shows at these venues. But please check back with our website, charlestonjazz.com, just to get the latest information of where everything is at.
Well, Brent, why don't you give us date, place, and time again, and what you want the public to do?
Absolutely. So the festival kicks off next Thursday, April 21st. We've got 4 wonderful jazz groups, starting with the Edwin G. Hamilton Quintet, followed by Marcus Amaker, and who's Charleston's poet laureate. He's going to do a spoken word jazz duo with percussionist Ron Wiltrout. After them is going to be the Grace McNally Trio with the Plantation Singers.
Wow.
They're going to do a fabulous show at 8:30 p.m. And then following them will be some Venezuelan Latin hot jazz with Abdiel Iriarte. He's from Venezuela, and he's going to have a fiery experience with his group. That's going to be at 10 o'clock. That's on Thursday night. Friday night, we kick things off at 5 o'clock with the Emmett Cohen Trio. He's from New York City. He's a wonderful piano player. And then after him will be Jorge Pacheco. He's another incredible piano player from Cuba. He's going to be at 8 o'clock on Friday night at the Music Hall. On Saturday night at 5 o'clock, we have Candace Springs. She's a wonderful up-and-coming R&B, jazz, soul vocalist from Nashville. In fact, Prince once described her voice as that it could melt snow. And she was invited to play at Paisley Park for the anniversary of the movie Purple Rain. So Candace Springs will be here at 5 o'clock on Saturday, the 23rd. And then 8 o'clock, our final headliner for 8 o'clock on Saturday will be Etienne Charles and Creole Soul with special guest Quentin Baxter. And that's going to be a great mix of New Orleans, Cajun, Caribbean jazz. And then on Sunday is our Family Jazz Day, where we'll close out the festival at the Royal Baptist Missionary Church from 2:30 to 5:30, featuring some of the best of the young up-and-coming student jazz groups.
Brent Swaney, we thank you for being on Bounce Around Charleston today and sharing the wonderful information about the Charleston Jazz Festival. Thank you again.
Thank you, Reverend Miller. Thank you.
Okay, you've heard it right here on Bounce Around Charleston, the Charleston Jazz Festival. And Brent Swaney wants all of you to come out because he said everybody is invited. We'll be right back after this break.